All right, so let's talk about the dictionary type, and it's similar to an array where you can iterate through all the values in the collection, but unlike an array, it's actually considered an unordered collection. So when you iterate through it, you don't know that, for example, the item that you created at slot 0 is going to be the one that you iterate through first, and you'll see that in just a moment. So let's create the dictionary first, and I'm gonna go ahead and just make this a let. So I'm not going to change it, and we're going to call this hill difficulty, if I could spell difficulty right. And maybe this is a dictionary that defines the difficulty going through DisneyWorld in terms of the hills that your automated scooter will have to tackle. So a dictionary has 2 items in it, or not just 2 items, but you can specify for example, string type as the key, and then a value for that as the other variable over here. So in some sense, you could kind of think of it as like creating a bunch of variables at once. And we're using really simple types right here, haunted mansion, but this could actually be a sprite kit node or something like that you put in here, and that could even be the key type as well. So it's really pretty flexible. And to pretty this up somewhat, what I'm going to do is create another line down here, and then put in my next string right below the other one. And as you can see, I'm putting in a colon right here, and then make it even prettier. Look at that, so beautiful. Don't forget your comma at the end of this. You're going to put that between all of them, except for the last one, of course. Well, there's really nothing to put between there. And here we go. What's another one that's got a little bit of a hill to it at Disney World? Thunder Mountain. Okay, so that's maybe that's a 40, right? Just so that we're not going 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got our dictionary, and we possibly want to look up the hill difficulty. Okay, so let's come down here, and we're going to write a function that's going to do that for us. So we're going to say look up difficulty. There we go. I think I spelled it. And we're going to pass into this function the place that we're going to look up the difficulty for. And ultimately, we're going to return out an int value from this. Okay, so we got the formula almost set up for doing so. Let's create a little variable called diff. This will be an integer type, and just so the compiler doesn't complain to us that we're not returning anything, because we did already say that we're going to do that, we'll put that in there, and then we'll change that difficulty based on looking it up in the dictionary. So to do this, to iterate through, what we're going to do is write for and then key in value. Okay, now these could be actually any terms that you want to put in here. So if you wanted, you could even write place and then difficulty. Don't call it diff because we've already used that. But just for right now, let's kind of think of these in terms of keys and values. So that's the key. This is the value. And we're going to then write in hill difficulty. So we're going to do our opening and closing bracket. And now we're going to iterate through the items inside of here. If you wanted, you could just print out key, and you could print out value if you just wanted to see what was going on with this right now. And I almost made a classic programmer mistake, a programmer mistake. I forgot to actually call the function, right? So let's we've already committed to passing a value into this. Let's put Thunder Mountain in so we get back 40 eventually, but not right now. At least I'm calling this, and then I can actually see the values in the output window. All right, so it iterated through, and you can see I got Haunted Mansion, the castle, and Thunder Mountain. Now, it just so happens actually that it did print these out in the order that I wrote them, but with a dictionary, you don't know that that's always going to be the case, and you can't rely on it. So let's you know what? Actually, let's tinker with this for one moment. I'm going to show you guys that you can do something else here. Let's put in here item. Watch this. you can actually write in here item.0, and it's going to tell you that that's going to be the string that's going to come out of it, and that's going to be the integer. So watch. This would iterate through and give us only the key values. How could you use that? I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so let's stick to what we had going on. And so we've got our key and our value inside of here. And now the big thing that we want to do is test what if the key equals our place. So we're going to say if key double equal signs the place, in which case diff is going to equal the value. So we've now found our little match inside of here, and we'll return that out. So of course we would want to then print lookup difficulty for Thunder Mountain, and all we're going to get back in this case is going to be 40 because it found it. And that's kind of a typical usage of how of what you would do with a dictionary. You know, you're putting in all these the values. It's a collection of keys and values, and at some point you're going to go, you know what, I got to look up a value in here with a key. So you might be wondering how you could insert items in here. Well, if this is immutable right now, so let's change that so we can actually alter it over time. And so that's a variable now. And to add something, all we've got to do is just write hill difficulty, and then you're going to put your key in these opening brackets, the key to add. So for example, what's the buzz ride name? I can't remember. Buzz ride is going to equal, well, there's really no slope to get there, is there? Maybe a slight little incline, 3. And then of course we'd want to see the output of this to make sure it actually did get added in there. So I'm going to now look up the difficulty of the buzz ride, and instead of seeing 40 down here, I should see just 3. And if you guys want to kind of know more about the code or these types, all you have to really do is just put in here hill difficulty, then your dot, and you can find out more of the possible things you could do with them. For example, get the count of the items in there. And well, one useful one is if you ever want to clear out your dictionary, you could remove all of them in there. And certainly if we try to look this up after that, well, we're not going to get anything. But why would you want to do that, right? No, I'm kidding. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next video.